station of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
There always seems to be someone hot in the Rangers lineup. Be it last night's hero, Ryan Rua, the perpetually hot Ian Desmond, or the road trip most consistent hitter, Elvis Andrus. Tonight, the recently torrid Mitch Moreland returns to the starting nine, carrying a 6-game hitting streak into the game. They'll be challenged by Oakland's Sonny Gray when your Rangers take on the A's next. Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T High-Speed Internet. Yeah, that's a little bit cooler here this evening, a little more of a breeze whipping around the Coliseum. Rangers again will try and heat things up as they take on the A's in Game 3 of this 4-game series. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Graves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this Wednesday night of Ranger baseball. Rangers playing very good baseball, and they're going to have to be at their best tonight as they take on Sonny Gray. One of the guys that really has been swinging the bat well that's going to give Gray some problems is Mitch Moreland.
You know, it's nice to see Mitch heating up, Buzz. He's been working hard. Earlier in the season, it was a struggle for Mitch, but on this trip, he started to get hot. First 4 games of this trip, he hit 4 home runs. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, 9 for 23 in that streak. 7 of his 9 hits are extra base hits. Prior to that, he was only hitting 132 for an extended period of time. So the Rangers have the best record in the American League, and they've done it without a hot Mitch Moreland, without a hot Prince Fielder. But both of those guys are starting to show some signs that they're starting to get hot.
Yeah, and look out when they do. They plug him into the Ranger lineup that is already swinging the bats pretty well. And the Rangers have something going, already a 5.5-game lead. They're looking to extend that behind Derek Holland tonight. He and the Rangers will take on the A's. We'll come back with the starting lineup to the first pitch right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. On Fox Sports Southwest. is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T High-Speed Internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And a beautiful evening here in the East Bay as your Rangers getting set to take on the Oakland A's. Before we get things underway, let us check in with John Radigan.
All right, Buzz, we appreciate it very much. You know, as much as we'd like these guys to be robots and automatic up there, we have to remember they are very human beings, and for human beings, there can be distractions. When you're at the plate, though, the goal is to minimize or even eliminate all distractions.
And this is, a tremendous compliment to the hitting coaches here. Kind of talking through them and going through game plans and approaches and things like that, and I'm doing a pretty good job of eliminating the variables, like whether it's like yesterday, the elements or the situation or outs or, whether I know the pitcher or not, just if I can eliminate that and just trust what I'm doing.
All working pretty well so far for Ian Desmond. Obviously, those elements will be a factor or a potential distraction tonight, too. It's going to be chilly down here, guys. Let's get it back up to you.
All right, John, thanks very much. Well, Ian Desmond and the Rangers getting set to face Sonny Gray, and Tom's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Rangers batting order.
Shin-Soo Choo back in the leadoff spot, playing right field. Ian Desmond is second. Nomar Mazara will hit third, followed by the cleanup hitter, Prince Fielder, a .308 hitter in his last 7 ball games. Jurickson Profar will bat fifth. Rougned Odor is sixth. Elvis Andrus, 4 games straight with a 9 for 17 going, is batting 7th at shortstop. Mitch Moreland's getting hot. He's playing first base and batting 8th. Batting 9th, coming off a game with a 3-run homer yesterday, is Robinson Chirinos, the catcher.
And that lineup tasked with facing the 26-year-old right-hander out of Tennessee, Sonny Gray. Gray, a very good sinking fastball, well above average stuff, a power breaking ball and a good changeup. And his first pitch is fouled off by Shin-Soo Choo. Rangers will try to be aggressive against Sonny Gray. And that's one of the only things when you look at his numbers that opponents have been able to do. They're hitting almost 500 when they're able to put that first or second pitch in play against the right-hander. A little bit low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So you look at the Rangers. Once Gray establishes that, hey, I'm going to be in the strike zone, you'll see Rangers up there swinging the bats the way Shin-Soo Choo did on the first pitch. Gray with the 1-1 pitch. And that is in, a ball and 2 strikes. Outfield, half in sunlight, half in shadow, and the shift on for Shin-Soo Choo. 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. Got him swinging. There's that good breaking ball, and Gray has a strikeout for the first hitter he faces. 1 gone as Ian Desmond comes up. We'll show you the A's defense tonight. Chris Davis, Billy Burns, and Jake Smolinski, left, center, and right. Yonder Alonso and Jed Lowry on the right side of the diamond. Marcus Semien and Danny Valencia on the left side with Josh Bagley again behind the plate. Ian Desmond, another multi-hit game in last night's contest, a .309 average. 1 ball and no strikes. Desmond, the team leader with 42 runs driven in. He has 9 home runs. That's next highest on the club. Very few at-bats, as you can see, against Sonny Gray, 0 for 3.
Yeah, you can already tell, Buzz, 7 pitches into this game. You can look at whatever the numbers say about Sonny Gray so far this season, and they're completely irrelevant based on what you're seeing right now, because he's throwing right now like he always did. 94-mile-an-hour sinkers. The curveball that he struck out Choo with was an excellent, way above average pitch. So whatever was ailing him early in the season, and maybe he went on the disabled list with a strained trapezius, and maybe that was bothering him earlier when he was putting up a 5 ERA. But he didn't put it up throwing the way he is, at least the first 8 pitches of this game.
No, you're exactly right. And Rangers, unfortunately, have seen him look like this before. He has given them fits. Really, the best shots the Rangers have had at Gray over the years, over the 3 years they faced him, has been in this ballpark. Gray has had all 3 of the defeats that he's rung up against Texas here at home. He's 5-0 against the Rangers down at Globe Life Park. So if you want a good omen, it's that they're facing him here tonight and not somewhere else. At the overall mark, Sonny Gray against the Rangers 7-3 and a lifetime 1.92 ERA. That ERA, by the way, the 3rd lowest of all the pitchers against the Rangers over the years. Nick Woodson and Pedro Martinez, the only 2 that had ERAs lower. A little bit low, and the count has gone full. So Desmond trying to get aboard with 1 out. Ian will be followed by the left fielder, Nomar Mazara. Rangers at 5.5 game lead in the Western Division. They are 40-25. Chopper off the glove of Valencia. That's going to be a base hit. Desmond, a big turn, and Valencia, fortunately for him, had gotten to the ball pretty quickly. Otherwise, Desmond was going to test him.
I think Desmond, he was hoping that he threw behind him to first base.
Batting in the 3rd position.
Because if he did, he would have trotted into second base. He had a huge turn. There was nothing Valencia could do except hold the ball. I guess he could have thrown it to second. Desmond would have gone
Yeah.
back. But if he threw behind him, Desmond would have just gone to second base. But he did block it, knock it down to keep it from being an extra base hit.
That one little peek over his shoulder by Valencia, and he got a pretty indication right there. Pretty good indication of what Desmond was thinking. But he kind of speeded things up a bit. So, Desmond aboard with the first hit tonight. Here's Mazara. And he takes ball 1 a little bit low. Nomar now down to 307. He's fallen on, well, if you want to call 2 games without a base hit hard times. It would be for Nomar, but that's only because he set the bar so high for himself. 307, still a very impressive number for the young man. Ball 2 is low. Mazara 0 for his last 12 times at the plate, and that right on the heels of a career best 10-game hitting streak. Mazara 10 home runs. That is tied with 3 other Rangers for the top spot. Nomar and Adrian Beltre, Rougned Odor, Mitch Moreland, all with 10 round trippers. Alonso has to go off the heel of his glove. Right there is Sonny Gray.
I'll bail you out.
And he picks it up and steps on first. Into second is Desmond, but Rangers caught a break there because Alonso, normally a very sure-handed first baseman, probably would have had a pretty easy double play.
And Sonny Gray was coming over to cover first base. And as he's coming over to cover first base, ball just rolled right to him. And he said, "Don't worry, Yonder, I'll take that for you. We won't get a double play, but we'll get one anyway."
See on that replay, Alonso getting himself all set to make the pivot and throw to second. And just forgot to take the ball with him. No, Desmond now in scoring position with 2 outs. And here's Prince Fielder. Fielder back up in that cleanup spot. On the outside corner for strike 1. And we'll take a look at the Kubota power stats early this evening for you. And subject, the man in your picture right there, Sonny Gray. Since the start of 2015, start of last year, 68 total fielding chances, 41 putouts. That leads all major league pitchers. 27 assists and no errors. To the shortstop, Semien up with it. And that'll do it for the Rangers. They get a base hit by Desmond, but strand him. Half an inning in the books in Oakland. It's the Rangers nothing. The A's coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. Top of the first inning, and Tom's going to tell you now about the Oakland A's lineup that will face Derek Holland.
Billy Burns in center field will lead off. Jed Lowry is second. Danny Valencia has been hot. .429 in his last 13 games. He's batting third. Chris Davis pounding the Rangers this year. 15 RBIs against the Rangers this year. He's in left field batting cleanup. Billy Butler is the DH. Josh Begley behind the plate again will bat sixth. Mark Semien is the shortstop. Jake Smolinski is in right field, and batting ninth, the first baseman, Yonder Alonso.
And Derek Holland goes to work against Billy Burns, misses low and inside for ball one. Holland making his 13th start, 5-5. His record was evened up after a loss last time out. .487 ERA. And the league hitting .259 against the Ranger left-hander. Long run for Chu. He's not going to be able to get there. One hop and that ball bounding into the stands. 1-1 the count. Derek Holland, 5-5 in his career against these Oakland A's. This is his 15th start, his 20th appearance. This is a bit low. It's 2-1 to Burns. Derek in this ballpark has gone 3-4, but a very fine .295 ERA. 2-1, Burns loops one into left. Mazzara coming on. And the big guy able to reach out, snag it for out number one. Now we'll take a look at the Ranger defense, brought to you tonight by DeMontron RV. You saw Mazzara in left field. He's joined by Ian Desmond in center, Shin-Soo Choo in right. Moreland and Odor on the right side of the diamond, Elvis Andrus and Jurickson Profar on the left, with Robinson Chirinos catching back-to-back games for the first time since coming off the disabled list. Good to see Robbie back in there. Well, Holland gets Burns to start things here in the first. Now Jed Lowry will step in. First pitch fouled away by Lowry. Lowry hitting at .306. A home run, 19 driven in. He's had as many RBIs as anybody on the A's staff with the exception of Coco Crisp. He has had one less than Coco has. Good fastball to the outside corner. It's 0-2. A's have switch hitters as their top two hitters in this lineup. Burns and Lowry. Holland to the wide, the 0-2. Tried the back door. Somebody had locked it. Derek last time out took the loss against the Mariners. Worked 5 innings in Seattle. Had a night kind of unusual for him, giving up 3 home runs, 2 of the Dejo lead, and 1 to Kyle Seager. About 5 runs, 5 hits. And he also had a couple of walks in that ball game. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. A's are 27-37 this year. They're back down to 5th place in the AL West, trailing the Rangers by 12.5 ball games. Full count. Lowry eyeballing a couple of close pitches. Lowry batting second. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Danny Valencia. Payoff pitch. We'll try it again.
Well, the A's obviously aren't having a great season. They're 10 games under 500, but at this point in time, almost every guy in the lineup is on some sort of a decent streak. Some of them over a couple of weeks, some of them over 4 or 5 games, but for the most part, their lineup is swinging the bat well in the first 2 games of this series. There have been a lot of tough outs and a lot of hard hit balls.
Profar backing up to get a big hop. Sidearm, nice tag. Moreland coming off the bag to make the catch, and the tag of Lowry going by.
Boy, Lowry is either hurt, he didn't run hard, or he doesn't run fast anymore, because he had plenty of time to get closer to first base than that, it looked like. Jurickson plays back, throws inaccurately, and Lowry's not even close to first base.
See what happened coming out of the box. He's just not going very fast.
No, it looks like he's hurt.
Running too long in one place. Here's Valencia.
It looked like he was just running 3/4 speed.
Yeah.
You know, as a middle infielder, he's got to be quicker than that.
Danny Valencia, a .335 average. Pops the next pitch foul, backing out of play. And the count very quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Valencia, 10 home runs, 25 driven in. He has been one of the driving forces of this A's offense this year. He brings in a 7-game hitting streak. He's not done all that well, a .231 average against Derek Holland in previous matchups. 1-2. Valencia, the first 2 games of this series, went 3 for 9. Ball ripped but pulled foul. Like Holland threw a changeup that got a cut inside. One of the problems that Derek had for the last several years with a changeup is that sometimes it'll cut or move to Derek's glove side, and that's not the way he wants it to move. Move into a right-hander, and that can sometimes be a problem. You remember when Derek first came up, the changeup was his primary off-speed pitch.
Guy's in the wrong ballpark.
Yeah. Brewers were over playing across the bay. Low it in, and that fills the count. The second straight hitter that Holland has gone to a 3-2 count. Valencia batting third. Chris Davis.
The guy's just a baseball fan. He probably went over to the Brewer game in San Francisco, said a day game, come over here and see a night game.
There you go.
That's a baseball fan right there.
Drive to right field. Chu going back and makes the catch. Shin-Soo having to fight the sun and the angles out there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Well, the A's gone in the first. After 1, no score in Oakland. Coming to town, and on Tuesday, June 21st, first 15,000 fans at Globe Life Park get a Rangers yearbook. The yearbook has player profiles in it and also pictures of the Rangers' youth baseball career. That'll be fun to see the Rangers back in time. Get your tickets for June 21st. Just log on to TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972 Rangers. Jurickson Profar leading off the Rangers' second inning. No score. Rangers had the only base runner so far, and Profar chopping one to Valencia at third. One gone. Well, folks, in tonight's game, we're participating once again in the Home Run Challenge to benefit prostate cancer research. And so far this week, more than $360,000 has been raised. Now, you can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Oh, one up, one away here in the second. Rougned Odor steps in. Odor carries a .262 average with him to the plate as he takes ball one. Odor, look at that bottom line, has had no luck at all against Sonny Gray. 2 for 21. That's an .095 mark. That ball hit high in the air and deep to center field. Going back is Burns, though, and he will pull up just shy of the warning track. 2 gone.
So far this year, Sonny Gray has given up 9 home runs in 60 innings. In his first 2 seasons, full seasons, 2014, 2015, he gave up 15 one year, 17 another year, in an average of about 215 innings. So early in the year, he must not have been throwing anything like he is now, and he was prone to giving up the home run. His ERA was high. He wasn't winning ball games. He's 3-6. His ERA is 5.34. But as we said after the first 7 or 8 pitches, that's not who's pitching right now. This is the old Sonny Gray. So if you want to get an idea of what to expect, look at what he's done the last 2 years, not what he's done in his first 7 or 8, 9 starts of the year, because that's much different than the way he's throwing right now.
No, you are exactly right, too. A 14-game winner the last 2 years each year, and the ERA has gone down. It was below 3 last year. This young man getting it together. Elvis chopping that pitch foul. He's very quickly down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he's been durable. This is the first time he's had an injury. He's averaged right at 214, 215 innings the last couple of years. So he's been durable, and he's thrown innings.
Gray's 0-2 pitch. Hit hard, but right at the second baseman Lowry. A little sidearm flip, that'll do it. Rangers out in order. And Gray now has retired 5 straight. 1.5 have gone by here in Oakland. No score, Rangers and A's. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Derek Holland back to work here in the bottom of the second inning. Middle third of the A's order, Chris Davis, Billy Butler, and Josh Phegley. Chris Davis, 15 home runs, 44 RBI as he pulls that foul down toward and through the A's bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes. Davis a 249 average. Well, he has been murder on the Rangers. Rangers wish the A's had never gotten Davis out of the National League. Profar been busy tonight. Guns one over to first. That is out number 1.
A good off-speed pitch by Derek. Had him out in front. Got the easy ground ball.
Hey, coming up tomorrow, the U.S. Open starts. The greatest golfers in the world going to Oakland Country Club for the 116th U.S. Open Championship. Live coverage begins on FS1 and continues through the final round on Sunday on Fox, where you can watch the entire championship live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Billy Butler. Butler 9 for 16 against Holland. Or 6 for 19, I'm sorry. Got the 6s and the 9s messed up. That's a 316 average. One of those, a home run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Butler with the A's pretty much relegated to duty against left-handed pitching. A's in a streak where they're playing against a lot of left-handed starters. And Butler getting a lot of action. He has started each of the A's 15 games against left-handed starting pitching. And against left-handers, Butler this year has hit .333, and you see the last 14 games, he is starting to make some noise, .387.
The first 29 games of the season, Butler had no home runs and 6 runs batted in.
And that's surprising for a guy in Kansas City was an RBI machine.
Yeah, he's just not quite the same hitter that he was back then.
Holland's 2-2 pitch. Got it in on him and it's popped up. Odor calling off Moreland. Rudned kind of drifting back makes the catch. 2 gone.
Yeah, since Rudned dropped that ball, where he dropped his glove to the side down around his waist, he's putting his hands above his head and catching the ball much differently after probably a little bit of coaching. Watch this. Right up over his head. I've noticed playing the Astros, that's how Altuve catches every single one. Doesn't matter whether they're difficult plays or easy plays. That's how he does it. And that's a nice change in style for Rudned right there. You learn your lesson. Now, the fact that Robinson Cano might do it one way, that's fine. That works for him.
Josh Phegley batting at .210. He's just taking strike 1. Phegley a home run and 8 driven in. His home run, a 3-run jack here the other night to right center field. Phegley, his best offensive numbers against any single team have been against the Rangers. That .333 mark with 4 home runs. 12 runs driven in the 14 games. Phegley with the White Sox before he came over to the Oakland Ball Club. 2-1 as Holland comes back to it. A's here at home, 14-17. Yeah, Ranger fans.
Short sleeve shirts for the Ranger fans.
Boy, they are.
Must be warmer down there than it is up here.
Those are tough Ranger fans. Shot the other way, but foul off the bat of Phegley.
Another good fastball by Derek, locating it in on the fists.
Phegley, another one of those guys, Tom. You mentioned a little bit of a streak, 4-game hitting streak for the A's catcher.
Yeah, almost every guy in the lineup has a little something going, some longer than others, but Not an easy lineup to pitch to, as evidenced by the first 3 games.
Good breaking ball from Holland, and Derek rings up his first strikeout. He's retired the first 6 that he has faced. 3 up and 3 down to the A's after 2 scoreless ball games. .30 in the morning, meet Ranger Ryan Rua along with Rangers captain. They'll be at the Whataburger on Northwest Highway in Dallas. And don't miss this chance to win great prizes and meet one of your favorite Texas Rangers at Whataburger. Visit TexasRangers.com/appearances for more information. Well, Mitch Moreland will start things off against Sonny Gray here in the top of the 3rd inning. Gray pumps in strike 1 to Mitch. Moreland, 227 with the average. That is up some 21 points in the last 3 games. 4 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitch, a 6-game hitting streak. He's gone 6 for 16 on this trip.
Looking at all the Ranger fans that are here today. Gary and Ruthie Luttrell from Fort Worth are here. They're celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary today. They were back at Old Ranger Ballpark back in 1973 for the first ever Ranger home game. So Gary and Ruthie, thanks for being here. Thanks for being such great Ranger fans, and happy 40th wedding anniversary.
2-1 pitch. Moreland a rocket right back up the middle. That thing is
I want to see the exit velocity of that one.
Moreland a big turn. Burns, the only reason Burns held him to a single is because of Burns' speed. He got over there so quickly, but that ball scooted like it was going to the wall quickly, and Mitch a long single.
That ball had to be more than 110. He absolutely killed that pitch. That had an extra crack to it.
It sure did.
Man, sounded like a tee shot.
Boy. So the second Ranger hit as Moreland's aboard to start off the 3rd inning. Here's Robinson Chirinos.
Yeah, it's nice to see Mitch swinging the bat. Mentioned he had 4 home runs in the first 4 games of this trip. Hitting 6 straight at .391. That hit'll put him 7 straight games over .400. So he's starting to swing it the way he can.
We talked about Moreland, the kind of streaky hitter he has been throughout most of his career. And we know that when he gets on a good streak, boy, it can last a long time too.
Yep.
But he creates a lot of noise when he's on one of these streaks.
Well, he bombed that ball in Seattle. We never did get the tail of the tape on that. It had to be 470, 480 to right center field. Then he hit one out to left center field. The exit velocity on that line drive had to be over 110. Just haven't seen many line drives hit that hard.
Time called just at the last second. Toby Bassner, the home plate umpire, granting Robinson Chirinos' request. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Chirinos. Robinson hit his second home run of the year. Up the middle, off the glove, but right to the shortstop, Semien, who steps on second, fires to first for the double play. It goes 1-6-3, but that doesn't tell the half of it. That's what it looks like in the scorebook.
Yeah, if Sonny Gray caught it, he would have turned it into a double play. If it went over his head, the second baseman would have been right near the bag. So one way or the other, they were going to get that ball. The only thing that could have happened is it deflected off his glove a little more to the left and rolled into left field, I guess.
Well, Moreland retired, as was Chirinos. Bases empty for Shin-Soo Choo.
I just wish Mitch had gotten that ball in the air.
Yeah.
Been up there in the camera well or more, where Choo hit one the other day, probably more.
Would have had a chance to go through that camera well, I know that.
Yeah, they'd have been ducking.
Choo checks his swing. It's a strike anyway. 1-1. Choo went down swinging his first time to the plate. Shin-Soo is coming back off the disabled list now. 1 for 8. And he's going to line that in for a base hit to left field. No, Choo now has reached base safely in all 9 games that he has played in this year. He's aboard with a 2-out single before Ian Desmond steps in. We're going to send it back to Aaron Hardigan for a Chevy game break.
Number 20, Ian Desmond.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Here's Desmond, and going after that first pitch. That will end up in a fielder's choice. Choo forced at second. That'll do it for the Rangers. They had 2 hits, but Strand won after 2.5. Rangers nothing, A's nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Offer savings of up to 50% on tickets, food, Kids Zone's access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drinks. Family Pack is an ideal way to catch the Rangers when they play, say, the Cincinnati Reds on June 21st and 22nd. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials. Get your Coca-Cola Family Pack today. Marcus Semien leading off for the A's here in the third inning. Bottom third of the A's order, facing Derek Holland, who's retired the first 6 that he has faced. Semien, a .242 average, a dozen home runs for the A's shortstop with 29 RBI. Top down third, that's going to be tough if it stays fair. It's rolling, and foul.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Had just enough spin on it. And of course, when you hit a ball out in front of the plate like that in that direction, it's headed foul to begin with. You just hope as a hitter that it stays on the grass. Looked like it was going to stay on the grass, but it was going just hard enough and just enough spin to roll foul.
Little assist from the lip of the grass there, too.
Once it gets off that lip, it picks up enough speed to go foul.
Well, Semien back to the plate. No balls, 2 strikes again. Now 1-2. Now Marcus Semien, a 5-game hitting streak of his own that he brings into play tonight. He's hit much better here at home than he has on the road this year for the A's. Semien, .293 average at the Coliseum compared to .198 on the road. Now this season, the Rangers, our Ford leaderboard showing you the starters ERA. Rangers almost a quarter of a point better than the next closest competitors, the Blue Jays. Chopper foul outside third. Still 2-2. Now Rangers starting pitching has really been a strong suit of the ball club, and continue to put up numbers that are among the best in the game. Quality starts, innings, and the whole deal. And Cole Hamels, Colby Lewis, a couple of the guys that have really done yeoman work. There's a base hit to center. Well, Semien got one out over the plate, and he becomes the first base runner for the A's tonight. He'll lead off single in the third. That'll bring up Jake Smolinski.
Yeah, quick bat. Nice quick stroke by Semien right there. Got his average up in the 240s now, mid-240s. He's already hit 12 home runs. Nice job of hitting right there.
No one on, nobody out. Smolinski steps in hitting .311. Jake has had an opportunity with Josh Reddick on the disabled list. They do some damage, especially as had success against left-handed pitching. He's gone 7 for 19. That's a .368 mark against left-handers. And he brings in a 5-game hitting streak. One ball and 1 strike. Smolinski, of course, the former Ranger. That 5-game hitting streak, that's 1 short of his longest career streak, 6 with the Rangers back in 2014. Semien with good speed at first. Five stolen bases and only 6 tries. Holland leaning in for the sign. Now he has the one he wants. A ball and 2 strikes. Smolinski Smolensky and Holland have not faced each other, at least in the regular season. Go back to some batting practice sessions or inter-squad games. I'm sure that they have faced off before. A drive to deep left field. Mazzara is back. He pulls up. That ball's gone. Jake Smolinski with his 3rd home run of the year. It is 2-0 Oakland.
That looked like a belt-high changeup. Center square. And Smolinski waited on it. And he clocked it. Let's take a look. Inside part of the plate. Belt high. And he turned on it. Off-speed pitch. Fastball in there, might not have been quite so quick with it.
Like that changeup we were talking about, Tom. The cut had a little cut to it. Most of the time you want that changeup to go away from the hitter on the opposite side of the plate that you throw from. But that one cutting into a very hittable zone, and Smolinski did not miss it. No, 2-0 Oakland. Yonder Alonso, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup to face Holland. Takes low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Alonso, a .245 hitter with a home run and 15 driven in. That was the 10th home run given up by Derek Holland this year. Gave up 3 in his last ball game. Jake Smolinski now 3 home runs and 12 runs driven in. 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Well, there is out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. And it'll take the A's back to the top of the order.
That's a good pitch to Alonso. Alonso's a guy that doesn't strike out very much. Derek ran that sinker down and in and got him to swing right over the top of it. Alonso has not hit that well against left-handed pitching. In fact, he's hit 125 against left-handed pitching. Has not hit for much power. You don't see first baseman batting 9th in the lineup very often.
Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think of the last first baseman I saw that batted that low. Can't do it.
Alonso's been hitting a lot better lately, but not for much power and not for much production.
Burns shoots one just inside the line down the right field side. Jew plays the Karen, but Burns with his speed into second easily with a double. Oh, Billy Burns poking one just fair. And a 2-bagger has him in scoring position.
That's probably not a strike, not even close to a strike. We saw him swinging a couple of pitches last night that were about a foot outside to strike out late in the game. That pitch, he just hacking at that ball and got the bat on it and stayed fair down the right field line. But for someone whose game is getting on base and speed, he's a little bit too much of a free swinger.
Yeah.
He's just not going to have the on-base percentage that allows him to consistently hit in the top of a really good lineup.
First pitch to Jed Lowry's outside.
Has some good attributes to do that, though. He's got speed, he makes contact, doesn't strike out much. But he's not going to walk very much swinging at pitches like that.
Lowry had a ground ball to third his first time to the plate. Two balls, no strikes. Burns out at second. Just about had the measure of Derek Holland. He had kind of a walking lead, and as Holland started to deliver, Burns was right in the middle of picking that foot up, or he would have taken off to third. Rougned Odor trying to keep him reasonably close. Pickoff throw, it's into center field. The throw from Desmond is cut off. And Burns head first into third on the throwing error by Holland. Not much Rooknet can do about that. So, Burns a third now. The infield will pull all the way in with one out. Rangers already trailing 2-0. Trying to cut down. The pitch up and in. 3 balls, no strikes. Out of play as Lowry had the green light. 3-0. Fouled it away. So Derek up to 55 pitches now, and he is trying to prevent any further damage in this inning. Already Smolinski's 2-run home run has the Rangers in a hole. Outside, ball 4. Runners at the corners with 1 out. And now you're getting right into the meat of the lineup. Danny Valencia is coming up.
Yeah, the first 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down, minimum amount of pitches. But this third inning has been a struggle. 56 pitches now. And now you've got the 2 tough guys in the lineup, guys that can do the damage, Valencia and Davis. Valencia has been a 400 hitter plus against left-handed pitching. And Davis 9 for 17 with 5 home runs in 5 games against the Rangers. So Derek's got his work cut out for him. Needs to throw that sinker down and away and get Valencia. Turn one over and hit a ground ball for a double play. Get out of this inning, cut the damage down. Sonny Gray's pitching well right now. You don't want to give up a lot of runs here in the 3rd inning if you can help it.
I think Doug Brocail went out there and ordered up a double play ball.
Okay.
I think that's what he was saying. Like him to read lips. Oh, Valencia lined to right field his first time to the plate. Rangers now backing up in the infield at double play depth. And the first pitch in for strike 1. Valencia 3 for 14 now against Holland in his career. Average with runners in scoring position, you saw just a little bit less than his overall average. 310 with runners in scoring position. Burns down at 3rd and Lowry over at 1st. Holland will check them, the 0-1 pitch. One ball and 1 strike. Now Derek ready one more time. Chopper into the hole, it's through for a base hit. Burns scores. Stopping at second is Lowry. Danny Valencia with his 26th run driven into the year. It is a 3-0 Oakland lead.
Oh, there was the ground ball, but unfortunately he pulled it just a little bit too much. Would have been beautiful. It was right at Elvis, but unfortunately it wasn't.
Now batting, left fielder, number 2, Chris Davis.
And with the infield in a couple of steps at double play depth, that cuts down the middle infielder's range in that play just enough to prevent Elvis from getting to that chopper. So 3-0. And here's Chris Davis, who grounded out to 3rd as he led off the 2nd. Pops the first pitch back and out of play. 0-1. We're going to get some action now down the right field line in the Ranger bullpen. Nick Martinez, right-hander, up and loosening. Nick rejoined the ball club yesterday. Oh, 0-2. Fastball down and in from Holland.
28 pitches for Derek here in this third inning. Still just one out.
Holland, a check of second. 1-2. Lowry out there at second base. He is trailed by Valencia at first. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Derek Holland pitched back here on May 16th. Had a pretty good ball game going. Worked 6 innings and gave up just 3 hits and a couple of runs, but took the loss in a 3-1 defeat. Right now he is down 3-0 in the third inning. Another foul ball. We will reload and try it again. Ranger infield, a couple of steps around to the left. Outfield in a similar fashion. Well, Chris Davis.
That was a defensive hack.
Yeah.
He was lucky to get a piece of that one. Just reached out. Or he turned his hips or stepped. Well, he doesn't step much anyway. He just kind of lifts his foot a little bit. Somehow he made contact with that one.
Popped him up into right field. Chu coming on, makes the catch. Everybody holds, and there are now 2 outs, and Billy Butler will be the next hitter. Holland able to get Davis just a little bit out on that front foot. The pop up to right. Now he'll deal with Butler, who popped out to second in the second. Butler stepping in a .255 average as he faces Holland. Good breaking ball on the first pitch. A swinging strike 1. Butler getting about 50 points higher than his overall average with runners in scoring position. He's got Lowry out there at second, Valencia at first. Holland checks him. 0-2. Outfield defense just about straight away for Butler. Now Ian Desmond going to shade him a couple of steps toward right center. Infield, right back at the rim of the outfield grass. A ball and 2 strikes. Butler, the 8th hitter to come to bat here in the third inning. Derek Holland has had a long frame. He has given up 3. Has 2 runners aboard, trying to prevent any further damage. Popped into foul territory. Mitch Moreland on the dead run makes a nice catch. So that'll do it for the A's, but they scored 3 times on 4 hits and lead 2 after 3. 3-0 Oakland. Now to take a look at our greater coverage of baseball, sponsored by T-Mobile. How about Johnny Cueto, his 7th straight win as the Giants defeated Milwaukee. This afternoon, Cueto moved to 10-1, or his 10th straight. Won today 10-1. His 7th straight, his 10th win of the season, 7 innings, just that 1 run on with 9 strikeouts. He is having quite the year. Newest member of the Giants. Speaking about having a year, how about Joey Gallo? Pounded one last night into the pool at Dell Diamond. 450-foot home run, his 13th home run of the year. Hitting .286 in 38 games. Really coming back off his stint in the disabled list. Really putting up some power numbers for the Express. Well, Nomar Mazara starting things off for the Rangers here in the 4th inning. Texas now trailing Sonny Gray and the A's 3-0. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Gray spiked that breaking ball into the dirt out in front of home plate.
Well, Gray's got a low pitch count. He's only thrown 36 pitches into the 4th inning now. He's had good stuff tonight. Good sinker and pounding the strike zone.
The 1-2 to Mazara. Nomar had a ground ball to first in the 1st. Batting mark now at .306. Nomar, of course, the American League Rookie of the Month for both April and May. Putting up very good numbers in the month of June as well. .327 is average in the first half of June. Got him swinging here. Gray with a good breaking ball, and Mazara is gone. That is the 2nd strikeout for Gray.
That's one of the better curveballs in the league. Hard, sharp breaking curveball. Watch how quickly this breaks down and in.
Number 84, Prince Fielder.
His fastball today's been 93 to 95, and he's had a good curveball.
Well, 1 gone. Here's Prince Fielder. Fielder had a ground ball to short in the 1st. Prince is 4 for 23 against Sonny Gray. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gray's had a couple of starts since he came off the disabled list. He had a start at Houston, 5 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He only threw 69 pitches in his first start back. Then his next start was at Cincinnati, pitched 7 2/3, gave up a couple of runs, only 1 walk, 92 pitches in that game. So he's pretty much on track to throw whatever he wants today, as far as pitches go. Whatever Bob Melvin lets him throw, maybe.
High drive to left center field. There's Davis moving over. The wind cutting it down just a bit. Davis makes the catch. That's out number 2. The fielder flies out, and now Jurickson Profar will come up. Profar hit a chopper to third as he led off the 2nd inning for the Rangers tonight. Jurickson, kind of like Nomar Mazar, has fallen on hard times here a little bit of late. It's out of play to the left. Jurickson now 4 for 22 on this trip. Game on the road trip, riding a 13-game hitting streak, his highest of his career, and the longest one by a Ranger this year. But he's just 2 for his last 18. Begley flashing the signs out. Great. Into the wind, the 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Sonny Gray again. Couldn't get Jurickson to offer at that curveball in the dirt. Well, Sonny Gray, ever since he came on the scene at the major league level with the A's, 2013 has been a dynamic pitcher. Came out of Vanderbilt University. Become a very good baseball program. He is one of their best products. He and David Price. Last 8 or 9 years, Vanderbilt Commodores have really turned out a lot of quality guys that have made it to the major leagues. With the academic history that Vanderbilt has, the recognition they receive, you figure the guys that go there and play baseball are going to have something between their ears. Still 3-2 after the foul ball. So Profar trying to extend this 4th inning. If he gets aboard, Rougned Odor would have a shot. Another 3-2 pitch from Gray. And again, Gray goes to the motion. That's out of play over the A's bullpen and back into the seats.
Well, last pitch at 96 miles an hour. He's coming right after him with his best fastball.
Probably got a little frustration going with the foul balls. Get a little extra adrenaline when that happens.
He's not worried about the location. He's throwing him right down the middle.
And another one out of play.
I brought a first baseman's mitt to the game. Snared one. You got a pretty good chance of getting a foul ball when you come to an A's game.
Yeah, that you do.
Got a lot of competition.
Another foul off. And Jurickson trying to make sure that everybody on the left side of the stadium gets one. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So is he going to throw him a curveball here, or is he just going to keep pounding that fastball?
Keep throwing the fastballs.
Well, he's lit up the middle of that strike zone. Jurickson swinging as hard as he can. Gray's throwing it as hard as he can. Jurickson can't quite catch up with one. All those fastballs are right near the middle of the plate. That's the difference between throwing at 94, 95, 96, or 88 to 92. Those fastballs are 5 miles an hour slower. He's probably already pounded one somewhere into the outfield.
And he finally missed for ball 4. Oh, Profar, a well-earned walk. He is aboard with 2 outs and Odor coming up.
Number 12.
Sonny Gray is probably thankful that thing's over no matter what happened. Let me work on somebody else here. That's the first walk issued by Gray tonight. Rougned Odor skied to center field back in the 2nd inning. Strike 1. Last 3 games, Rougned struggling a bit. Remember that 4 strikeout game he had Sunday in Seattle. Very uncharacteristic of Odor. It has been one of those downturns for him. That's in the dirt. Profar back to first and got it. Jurickson thought about it, took a few steps towards second, and didn't think to get back quickly enough. And Jeff Manners is saying, hang on a second here. Let my guys take a look at it. Go through the video process, and Bobby Jones, Adam Brenner upstairs will take a look and see if there's any need to challenge this play. And the first base umpire, Toby Bassner, right on top of that play. And Jeff says, no, we're not going to challenge that. So that'll do it for the Rangers. Nobody left aboard after 3.5, and still the A's 3 and the Rangers nothing. Friday, June 24th, the first 20,000 fans in Globe Life Park that night will receive a pair of Major League glasses courtesy Papa John's. You can stick around after the game, too. A baseball movie-themed fireworks show. Find your tickets at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Oakland leading 3-0 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Josh Phegley, the catcher, leading things off. Marcus Semien and Jake Smolinski to follow. Derek Holland back to the hill after giving up 3 last inning, and that ground ball just fouled outside the bag at third. Vic Carapazza, the third base umpire, right on the line, and a great look at it.
Yeah, he's got his head right on the foul line. He knows if it's to his right, it's got to be foul. It was fair up until I got about 5 feet away from the bag.
No, 1-1 to Phegley. Now 2-1. Phegley a strikeout the first time that he faced Holland. That average now at .305 for the year. 3 balls and a strike. Holland has walked 1 tonight. That was a 1-out walk to Jed Lowry in the last inning. And he lost Phegley. Well, leadoff walk puts the catcher aboard. Now Marcus Semien coming up, and with that walk, again the call to the bullpen. There will be action beginning once again in the Rangers pen.
Yeah, I think as soon as Nick gets loose, if Derek hasn't made a couple of quality pitches, the pen is going to make a change.
Well, Derek, as you can see, it's 75 pitches as he starts to work now on Semien. Semien had a base hit to center his first time to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Ranger infield playing the A's shortstop a couple of steps around to the left. Elvis trying to cut that hole down at short. Rugnet favoring toward the bag. To right field, slicing deep but foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, nice guy. Gave it to the little kid. They were all fighting for the ball. Little guy worked hard. He deserved it. Would have had a little more satisfaction if he got it himself, but he'll take it.
Yeah. It's like
tomorrow no one's going to know how he got it.
Exactly.
He'll be up in his room somewhere.
It's like a dribbler to back to third base. It looks like a line drive in the box score the next day. And the foul ball, who's going to know, right? 2-1 to Semien. Jeff Bannister keeping a very close eye now on Derek Holland. 2-1 pitch. Hit hard to right field. Right at Chu. 1 out. Semien pretty good wood on that, driving it the other way, but Chu perfectly positioned. And here comes Jake Smolinski for his second at bat. Smolinski got the A's on the board last inning. Took an off-speed pitch from Holland and drove it out to left field. His 3rd home run of the year. It's a 2-run blast. Strike 1 from Holland. Smolinski with 3 home runs and a dozen RBI. Smolinski now 12 for 28 over his last 14 ball games. That's well over 400. In the dirt, nice stop by Robinson Chirinos. Kept Fegley at first base. Derek trying to figure out what he can do to counteract the problems he's had in the last 9 hitters.
Well, he looked like he was on a roll after he struck out Fegley to end the second inning. 6 up, 6 down. He just struggling with his command right now. Forced to throw a lot of pitches. Got the changeup up to Smolinski. That went for a home run. And since then, there's been a couple of walks and a lot of pitches. They're struggling now. Pitch count. This will be his 84th pitch with only 1 out in the 4th inning.
Now 50 strikes, 33 balls. The 3-1, and he lost it. Ball 4. That puts 2 aboard. With Yonder Alonso coming up. Second walk of the inning, 3rd walk of the game.
Now batting, first baseman.
Jeff Bannister getting that.
Yonder Alonso.
Would think a little impatient on the bench.
Well, he's got the lefty coming up right now, and you're gonna let him pitch at least to Alonso. Did strike him out. Nick is obviously ready. Second time he's been up today.
A first and second, just 1 out. Holland sets, Alonso waiting. 0-1. Robinson Chirinos going through the series of signs. Fegley out there at second, peering in. And it's 0-2 now on the foul ball. And Doug Rocale sitting next to Jeff Bannister. Signaling down to Brad Holman in the bullpen. And make sure that Nick Martinez is ready and knows what they're thinking about doing. A ball and 2 strikes. Alonso, you see, is turning things around. Tom told you about what he has picked things up offensively to a 400 clip this month. And another chopper foul. Alonso, one of the A's that has not hit as well at home as he has on the road. Just a 150 average in this ballpark. On the road, he's been a 315 hitter. Got Fegley at second, Smolinski at first, 1 out. Holland again with a 1-2 pitch. Ouch. Foul ball, and Alonso doing some damage to that right leg.
It's not the first one that's been hit down there, judging by that pad that he's got. He's got it pulled down as far as he can. Ooh, that hit above it, didn't it?
Sure looked like it.
Yeah, like on the inside of his leg, right below his knee.
He's going to wait a little while. Maybe it'll stop hurting, but it's going to be next winter sometime before that thing goes down. That's one of the ones that gives you a big knot right away. Looks like somebody threw a golf ball into your skin. Now back in there now, still a ball and 2 strikes. got it again. Mentioned Justin Mishore over there. Prince said, scoop that thing out, keep it off of us. We're okay. Now Holland wants Robinson Torinos to recycle those signs. And the left-hander's ready. Couldn't get Alonso to offer that pitch just off the outside corner. 2-2. That's one of the things we've seen from Derek Holland earlier this year, particularly, Tom, that he'd get ahead of hitters and couldn't find a way to put them away.
Yeah, he just hasn't. You know, his swing and miss rate is 15%. That's the lowest in the American League, and there you go. There's a swing and a miss when you need it. With that low swing and a miss rate, that's one of the reasons he's had a hard time putting away the hitters.
And with the pitch count where it is, Jeff Manish is going out, and he will bring Derek back to the bench with him. He wants Nick Martinez to come in. Martinez will inherit runners at first and second, 2 outs in the 4th inning. Rangers trailing 3-0. Pitching change underway. We will take a timeout. We're back to Oakland right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest wants you to show your Longhorn pride at a Rangers game. You get discounted tickets for the Thursday, July 28th game against the Royals, and the first 1,000 fans with a Texas ticket at the park get a free Rangers cap and horns, burnt orange and white. Go to TexasRangers.com/UT for details. 25-year-old Nick Martinez has come out of the bullpen. Nick recalled yesterday when Tom Wilhelmsen was optioned to AAA, and Nick making just his 2nd appearance of the year with the Rangers. He had 11 games down at AAA Round Rock, primarily a starter down there. He was 6-4 with a 4.50 ERA, worked 64 innings. The league hit .292 against him, and Derek Holland, trying to figure out what exactly went wrong. Kind of the look and the expression on his face. Not too much that he can think of right now that went right.
Well, Nick's job right now is to pitch as long as he can. The Rangers come back and brings the late inning guys into play fine.
Left center field, that's going to be down for a base hit. Fegley coming around, the ball gets away. Right behind Fegley is Smolinski. He will score. 5-0 Oakland. Billy Burns with the double.
Burns likes to hack away at that first pitch. Got almost a strike. It's probably only a little bit outside. But he lined it into the gap. Ian went over to cut it off, and then hit it with his glove. It rolled away, and he got the ball in as quickly as he could, but both runs had scored.
Now 1 RBI for Burns, and the second run scoring on the error to Desmond. First Ranger miscue of the night. Now here's Jed Lowry. Lowry has walked and grounded out 0 for 1. A's now 5 runs on 5 hits this evening. And Nick with the breaking ball for strike 1. Lowry, highest average in the American League with runners in scoring position, that 412 mark. Throw to second. Burns back ahead of Chirino's throw. So the book on Derek Holland is closed for tonight. Gave up 5 runs. At the moment, 4 of them earned. 4 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts in 3 2/3. Two balls and a strike to Lowry. Now 3 balls. Well, for Nick Martinez, his only other outing at the big league level this year was against the White Sox. Took the loss in relief at Chicago back on the 23rd of April. Three-one pitch. Full count.
Good changeup right there on a fastball count. Lowry definitely wasn't looking for it. That was a good changeup too. Good change of speed and good movement on it. Really dropped right as it got to home plate.
Next 3-2 pitch. Odor down in front of that, and that will do it. But the A's out on 2 more runs on 1 hit, a couple of walks, an error, and 1 man left. After 4, 5-0 Oakland. Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. gorgeous sunset. Looking westward toward the hills on the peninsula from Oakland. Rougned Odor starting off the Ranger 5th inning. Rangers now find themselves down by a whole handful against Sonny Gray. 5-0 Oakland. And Gray bumps in a breaking ball for strike one to Odor. Rougned left standing at home plate in the 4th inning when Jurickson Profar was kind of caught in no man's land on a ball in the dirt, got thrown out trying to get back to first base. 0-2. Rangers with 3 hits against Gray tonight, all 3 singles. Oh-2 pitch. Got him swinging.
That's good, hard breaking balls right there. That was a little more of a slider right there. That was 86 miles an hour. The curve balls before it were about 82 miles an hour. Just put a little extra on this one. That's what you call a power curveball right there.
Sure is. And he does. He has that ability to change the speeds and basically on the same breaking ball, make it 2 different breaking balls depending on how hard he threw it to throw it.
That was his hard one right there, I think.
No, 3rd strikeout for Sonny Gray. Here's Elvis Andrus. Strike one. Our GXU Energy power player to watch tonight. Elvis Andrus, this series, 5 for 10. A double, a home run, 3 RBI, a stolen base. Other than that, pretty quiet for Elvis. He has had a terrific series. He's had a terrific road trip. This is the Rangers' 6th game of this, what will be a 10-game road trip. Chopped out toward short. Semien on the run. It's his counterpart by half a step.
Didn't look like he was going to get him. He had to come a long way. Took him a little bit of time to get rid of it. But once he got rid of it, he had a little something extra on it over there to first base. Just nipped Elvis.
Now batting, number 18.
We talked about Semien the first game of this series. How much he's improved from last year. Made a ton of errors early last year, but he's worked on his defense every single day with Ron Washington. He's getting better and better. He has that dimension that you don't see from a lot of shortstop. There's Wash, and that's power. He keeps improving his defense and keeps hitting home runs. It'd be a frontline big league shortstop. Right on his way there now.
Mitch Moreland takes strike one. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of a guy that was here, a decade or so ago, a little longer than that, Miguel Tejada. Shortstop that had a penchant for making some errors. Ron Washington took him under his wing and turned him into a pretty good shortstop. He had that power dimension too offensively.
Yeah, if Semien reaches that, he will reach he'll reach another level of shortstop. But if he becomes a guy that plays very steady shortstop and hits 260 and hits 15 to 22 home runs, that's going to make him a front-line guy. Sonny Gray going to his curveball a little bit more this inning, especially to the left-hand hitters. Pretty good pitch count. The one thing that caused his pitch count to go up was the one at bat to Profar. It cost him about 10 extra pitches. Jurickson just kept fouling him off, but this will be his 66th pitch in the 5th inning.
0-2 to Moreland. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Mitch hit the hardest ball that's been hit by the Rangers tonight. He singled up the middle. And had someone other than Billy Burns been playing center field, it would have rolled all the way to the wall. But Burns able to cut it off and hold Mitch to a single. That was back in the 3rd inning. And Mitch not even thinking about offering it that pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Sonny Gray, and again, he is not pitching like a guy who brought a 5.34 ERA into the play tonight. This guy coming off the disabled list was the old Sonny Gray. But Mitch turned on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball and almost hit it out of the stadium completely. Wow. Sonny Gray thought he had Mitch pretty well set up for that high fastball. Mitch said no, not right now. 3-2. Sonny Gray probably has a little helpless feeling right about now. You can't get him to swing at the breaking ball down out of the strike zone. You can't throw the fastball by him, even your best fastball. Going to come up with plan C or D. Not sure which one it is. Pulled sharply, but into the shift. Lowry throws out Moreland. Well, it turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning. Rangers gone in the 5th. We played half the ball game in Oakland. The A's 5, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Is Bluebell Ice Cream Sundae, and ice cream is just $1 for youngsters 13 and under. Come on out to Globe Life Park and see your Rangers take on the Boston Red Sox. Get the tickets for June 26th at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS if you prefer. Well, Nick Martinez back out to the hill now. Will start his first full inning of work. He will deal to Valencia, Davis, and Butler. Leading 5-0. They have out hit the Rangers 5-3. And Valencia takes ball 1. Valencia had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. He now has 26 RBI this year. He's also extended his hitting streak to 8 consecutive ball games. 1-1. Missing low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Nick Martinez from Hialeah, Florida. Out of Fordham University for the Rangers. The former infielder converted to pitching while he was in college, and he was the closer for a while for Fordham.
Well, if I remember, Buzz, last year early in the season, he pitched a gem here against the A's. That was the day he was running that fastball in on their fists, one right after the other.
Yep.
That's a pretty good slider he's throwing right now, 87, 88 miles an hour. He's got the makings if he can command the pitches. He's got a good changeup, got the slider, sinking fastball, good tailing action to it. Just a matter of putting it all together and throwing those pitches consistently where he needs to.
Foul back by Valencia. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The command and the slider was something that he really didn't have great command of when he was up the first time. It was basically the curveball that he threw as an off-speed pitch, and that was kind of hit and miss. The fastball was the one that got him by, and now he's added a few more tricks to the trade. Call strike 3. Valencia on his way to first, and he's going to have to make a quick U-turn.
Well, that ball had some severe sinking action on it. That was a good pitch.
Bill Welke called Valencia back and said, no, the other way, son.
This ball comes, that ball looked like a left-handed slider. Had so much movement on it. Look at that ball come right to the bottom of the strike zone. Starts out on the left side and ends on the right side. Valencia didn't think it was a strike, but that's in the strike zone. Good pitch.
No, Nick with his first strikeout.
That pitch will get a lot of hitters out.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Here's Chris Davis. First pitch to him is a little bit high for ball 1. Davis has grounded to third and flied to right. 0 for 2 tonight. Fouled out of play to the right. 1-1. Nick last year with the Rangers. Up and down. Popped up. Moreland and Odor. It's Rougned Odor making the call and the catch just in fair territory. That is out number 2. And before we tell you about Billy Butler, we're going to send it back to Aaron Hardigan for a Chevy game break.
Number 16, Billy Butler.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Billy Butler takes a Nick Martinez pitch a little bit low for ball 1. What I was saying about Nick Martinez last year, he ended up working 125 innings, mostly as a starter for the Rangers, but a little bit in relief. He ended up going 7-7, but he had some good streaks in that game you're talking about, Tom, in the middle of one of his good streaks where he really pitched well. And then for whatever reason lost the command, and it's hard to explain. But
it just looked like he lost the ability to run the fastball into the right-hand hitters. There for several games, he was just doing it one right after the other. And, you know, maybe they started to lay off it a little bit. A lot of them were tailing in a little bit out of the strike zone, so that was part of it, making an adjustment.
Two and 1 here, the count to Billy Butler. Butler 0 for 2 with a pop out to second and a foul out to Mitch Moreland. Three and 1 now. Butler handling the DH chores tonight. He's batting 5th. If he extends his 5th inning, Josh Fagley, the catcher, will follow. Now full count. Now Nick, along with that 7-7 mark last year, in his initial foray into the big leagues the year before in 2014, he went 5-12. And a 4.55 ERA in 140 innings of work. Right center field, that is down, and it is skipping by Ian Desmond all the way to the wall, and Billy Butler into second with a double. Butler's first hit of the night. That's pretty much what Billy Butler did for the years that he spent in Kansas City, gap to gap with that kind of a line drive power.
Now batting the catcher, number 19, Josh Begley.
And the movement on that ball brought it back toward the middle of the plate. Butler hit that one really well. And we talked about him, though, in the last 14 games, he's hit .387, so he's starting to swing the bat a lot better. Got a little bit of a track record that shows he can hit.
Well, Butler at second, 2 away. Here's Josh Begley, who has walked and struck out. Butler's double, the 6th hit of the night for the Oakland A's. Second given up by Nick Martinez. Eric Holland worked the first 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 4 hits. Establishing his lead out there at second as Robinson Chirinos goes through the series of signs.
A good slider.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Take another look at it. Sharp, short, and well located.
Sinker right down at the shoe tops of Begley, and the count evens now at 2-2. Last time Dick worked was about 6 days ago. Had a start at Iowa for Round Rock. Profar sidearms it across to Moreland, and that'll do it. So Butler's 2-out double to no avail for the A's. They strand a runner. After 5 complete, it's Oakland 5, Texas 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. It's time now for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $200 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Gavin Smithart from Fort Worth will win $200. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Gavin is going to win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. That's what Gavin Smithart's going to look like if he gets that 25 grand. Jumping all over the place, waving his hat. Robinson Chirinos starting off the Rangers 6th. Takes strike 1 from Sonny Gray. Chirinos grounded into a double play back in the third inning. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Sonny Gray has allowed 3 hits to the Rangers, but none since that third inning. 0-2 on the foul tip. Robinson, an even 200 with the batting average. This is 4th start. As we mentioned earlier, the first time that he has caught back-to-back games. Jeff Anderson said he was going to take his time working Chirinos into catching every day. He said he still wants to be able to get Bobby Wilson and Brian Holiday enough reps back there to keep them sharp. There's a drive off the bat of Chirinos. Deep left field. Back is Davis. Goodbye. Robinson Chirinos, his second home run in as many nights. And we have another Sonic Slam winner. Gavin Smithhart from Fort Worth wins $200 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In.
It looked like Robinson's got a hanging curveball. Gray's had a really good curveball today, along with an excellent fastball. But that one he hung, kept it up a little bit, and Robinson drilled it just out of the ballpark in left field. Yeah, that one never got down in the strike zone or below the strike zone where Gray wanted it. He knew that had a chance to go out of here.
Well, that cuts it to a 5-1 Oakland advantage. Looks like he had a pretty good idea that was enough to get out when he took off from the box.
Yeah, good judgment then.
Yeah.
Because it had about 2 feet to spare.
Looks like that might have had a little topspin on it.
I think it did. I think it was kind of hooking with topspin on it.
So, Rangers now with 79 home runs. They came in tied for 6th in the American League with 78. Up it by 1. Here's Shin-Soo Choo, and he takes low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Choo tonight has singled and struck out. Gray to the wind. And Choo tops it foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. A run on 4 hits for the Rangers against Gray. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Shin-Soo Choo, who has hit safely in 15 of the 18 games he has played against Oakland recently. Takes a little bit low, and it's 3-2. So Choo trying to keep this going here with nobody out. He's trying to get aboard. He and Desmond in that on-deck circle. Payoff pitch from Gray. Hit well to left field. Davis going back. That is over his head and off the wall. Plays the carom. Into second goes Choo. And Shin-Soo almost hit one out the way that Chirinos did.
I love the way Shin-Soo's swinging the bat since he's come back. He had a line drive to left center field in the 3rd inning for a base hit. Drove that one over Davis's head to left field. That's usually a good sign when you see any left-hand hitter not trying to pull the ball, but especially guys like Moreland and Choo that have that power the other way. Able to wait on the ball, pitch away from him, tailing away, just goes the other way with it. Hit it solidly, about 365 feet right off the base of the wall.
No, a little thunder here for the Rangers in the 6th inning. He and Desmond taking it the other way. It's a fair ball. That is going to be in for extra bases. Choo will score. Desmond to second with the RBI double. It is a 5-2 A's lead. And Desmond with his 43rd run driven in this year and another multi-hit game.
Rangers getting to Sonny Gray a little bit here in the 6th inning. 3 straight base hits, 3 straight extra base hits, home run and a couple of doubles. Fastball away. Ian just puts the bat on the ball, does what he does, hit the ball from foul line to foul line. Alonso had no chance to get that ball playing a little bit off the line like that.
Yeah. 28th multi-hit game. Second in the American League, Ian Desmond.
Now batting, number 30.
Shin-Soo Choo talking to Justin Mayshort, assistant hitting coach. Yeah, that's what we talk about all the time. You know, you just hit the ball that way. Still nobody out. Desmond at second base. Here's Nomar Mazara. He hits one up the middle. Semien behind the bag has it. And the throw gets Mazara, but on to third goes Desmond. Clapping his hands over there, applauding the rookie Mazara for moving him over.
Yep, still early enough in the game where you want to get that guy to third base, try to make it a 2-run ball game.
Prince Fielder.
Opportunity for Prince to bring home a run. Get that same fly ball he hit last time up. That'll get the job done.
Yeah, Prince 0 for 2, and he's back driving in runs again. He has driven in 9 in his last 17 ball games. Infield back here, the A's will give up the run. 4 and out. There's a drive to center field. That ball is crushed. Going back is Burns, and he makes the catch right in front of the warning track. Tagging at third, scoring easily is Desmond. Fielder with a sacrifice fly. It's a 5-3 Oakland lead as the Rangers put 3 on the board here in the 6th.
A well hit ball to dead center field. Exactly what you want. Just get that run in. Still very early in the ball game, only the 6th inning. Rangers have cut a big gap down to 2. Anything can happen with 2 runs. Almost make a 1-run game for about 10 feet farther.
Thought I heard that sound, but apparently my ears tricked me.
That was a pretty good sound to hit it that far.
Prince driving in his 33rd run of the year. Got that job done. Rangers very, very good at using that sac fly. That's their 24th of the year. They were second place in the American League with that figure. And Jurickson Profar with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike now. Profar has walked and grounded out. 0 for 1. Now 2 and 1. Tough game to figure out. Sonny Gray cruising along. Looks like he can't do much with him. All of a sudden he hangs a ball to Chirinos and opens the floodgates here a little bit.
Yeah.
And a base hit over the leap of Marcus Semien into left center. Profar aboard.
Obviously, they've hit the ball hard in the 6th inning, but a number of times earlier in the game, they didn't have a lot to show for it, but there were a few balls hit hard then, too. Jurickson lined that ball sharply. There's been a bunch of hard hit balls here in the 6th inning. Someone gets a hold of one right here, and really got a turnaround in this game.
Well, Sonny Gray kind of cruising along. He had 23 pitches in the 4th inning. It turned into a 1-2-3 inning, but other than that, really didn't show many signs of giving up much until this 6th, and the Rangers jumping on him pretty good.
Yeah, Rookie had a long fly ball back his first at bat in the 2nd inning, kind of like the ball that Fielder just hit. A little bit underneath it.
Odor 0 for 2 tonight. That long fly ball that Tom was telling you about, plus a strikeout. Takes that breaking ball a bit low. Odor hitting at an even .260. He is tied for the team lead with 10 home runs. So he has that ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark. He represents the tying run in this ball game with Profar at first. hard as Sonny Gray throws that pick off to first, if he misses Alonso, that thing's going to be 10 rows up. John Axford getting loose in the A's pen. One ball, no strikes. High in the air to left field. Davis retreating. He is looking up at the wall. Goodbye. Opposite field, Rougned Odor. We've got a brand new ball game. Tied at 5.
Yep, someone gets a hold of one, and all of a sudden you've got a dramatic turnaround. That's about as dramatic a turnaround as I think we've seen this year. The Rangers have had a lot of 5-run innings, a lot of big innings. But Sonny Gray was looking like Sonny Gray through 5 innings, and all of a sudden it fell apart for him, and the Rangers just pounded the ball this inning. A couple of home runs, a couple of doubles. Profar had a line shot over shortstop. Rangers have 25 home runs now in June. That's the second most in the major leagues in the month of June, so they're showing some long ball power right now. What a turnaround.
Now Elvis drives one to center. That sends Burns back, and he has to leap at the last second to haul in a drive. Well, that'll do it, but the Rangers explode for 5. A couple of home runs, nobody left. After 5.5, we're starting over. It's 5-5. MLB All-Star Game. Rangers need your help to send Ian and Adrian, Elvis, Rougned, the rest of the Rangers to San Diego with your votes. Go to TexasRangers.com/vote. Cast your vote up to 35 times, and fans who select the Rangers as their favorite team will receive an offer for 50% off tickets to select games in August. Vote today, vote early, vote often, vote Rangers. Well, a brand new ball game. Robinson Chirinos and Rougned Odor among the hitters that teed off in that 6th inning against Sonny Gray. Solo home run for Chirinos, a 2-run bomb for Rougned. A brand new ball game now, and Nick Martinez all of a sudden pitching to keep this a tie ball game. He came in, was 5-0.
Yeah, I don't think Sonny Gray's been hit like that, even earlier in the year when he wasn't throwing that well.
Odor has to charge that and throws out Simeon on the run for out number 1.
Rangers had 5 hits in that inning, but then Fielder had about a 390-foot sacrifice fly, and Elvis had a line shot to dead center field for an out too. So even the outs were hit hard in that inning.
Sure were. Yeah, you'd have to go a long way to find a time that Sonny Gray was hit like that.
Yeah.
After starting out the way he did.
Yeah, he was throwing the ball well.
Jake Smolinski takes a breaking ball for strike one from Nick Martinez. Smolinski 1 for 1, a walk and a 2-run home run tonight.
That's what we're talking
There's
about.
that. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Whatever we were talking about last inning, that's what it looked like right there.
That fastball came in, had teeth on it, just gnawed on the bat handle.
He threw that against the A's last year about 25 times, it must have been. If he can keep that ball right there, combine that with the slider that he's throwing right now, he's looking pretty good. Wants this one up. Good try. A little too high. A few inches lower. Smolinski was ready to swing at it.
Yeah, what you're suggesting, Tom, is pretty much the basics of pitching.
Yeah.
And high and tight, low and away. and really, that works for anybody.
I think my first day of professional baseball in Burlington, North Carolina, I heard someone say that.
Mitch came off the bag to have to get that
I don't know.
throw from Profar.
I don't know if he did or not. Let's see if the Rangers check that out.
Yeah, Jeff Bannister's out saying, hang on here a second.
I thought he had his foot on the bag when he caught it. It's one of those optical illusions. It looked like he was way off the bag, but I think he might have been on the bag. One thing we've seen from Jurickson is plenty of arm strength, but it's a different throw, an entirely different throw. He's been playing, that's close. Been playing shortstop in the minor leagues, second base for quite a while in the big leagues. But that throw from third is a different kind of throw.
Yep.
And he's got plenty of arm strength to make it, just the ball's sailing on him a little bit here and there.
No, Ford telling you it's Rangers challenge on this call.
I think he's out. Watch when
Toby
he catches the
Baster
ball.
and John Hirschbeck.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know now. Not from that angle.
Ball
Right there, looks like he's on the bag.
impacting the back of the glove. Where is it? Where's his foot when it impacts right there?
I think it's on the base.
I think so. I think you're right. I think you are right. From that angle, anyway, we can see it all.
He's out. He's out. I'm making a call.
Okay.
Take him off, guys. I guess they can't hear me.
Anyway, now you did.
Raise your right hand.
Just took it. He is out.
Thank you.
Yep. Nice call, Tom.
Well, I'm 1 for 42 this year.
The ruling on the field has been overturned. Texas retains.
So, call overturned.
Mitch
Rangers successful challenge.
Mitch is pretty shifty around the bag. He's got great, he's a big guy, but he's got good footwork around the bag.
Yeah.
Got good hands, good arm, and good footwork around the bag. That was a nice play by Mitch.
Jurickson.
Thank you very much, Mitch.
Save me an
Thanks
error.
for replay.
So, base is empty. Yonder Alonso fouling off that first pitch for strike one. Well, maybe the worm has turned in this ball game. Rangers put 5 on the board. Now all of a sudden get a challenge to go their way. Some good things happening. And that's off the end of the bat foul and out of play. 0-2.
Good pitch right there, too. Robinson set up probably a little bit outside. And Nick ran that tailing fastball right in the mitt. Alonso hit it right off the end of the bat. Wants this one up a little bit.
A little too much.
Yeah.
1-2. Alonso struck out both times that he'd come to the plate tonight. Both those at bats were against Derek Holland. Looped into center, and that's going to be down for a base hit. Well, there's a case of a pretty good pitch turning into a 2-out single. Alonso aboard, and that'll take the A's back to the top of the order.
Just hit that breaking ball right off the end of the bat.
So the A's now with 7 hits. Rangers have still out-hit them 8-7. Billy Burns stepping in is 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles.
If you watch the golf tournament tomorrow, you'll probably see a few 40, 50-yard shots to the green, just like that little
Just like
shot
that
that Alonso just hit.
What I understand about Oakmont, they may not stop that well.
Yeah, you gotta make them land in the right spot. This playing field's about as good as a golf course in a major, I'll tell you that.
Sure
Until
is.
football starts, it's beautiful here.
Billy Burns doubled and scored in the third. Drove in a run with a double in the fourth inning. Say one thing, left-handed or right-handed, he's pretty consistent with that.
He's hacking.
Chasing anything he can see out away from him, he's going to have a swing at it.
Yeah. All you got to do is throw it near the outside corner. That was a good changeup by Nick, and make it tail about 8 inches, and he's going to swing at it. Just don't throw a strike.
2-1. Burns currently hitting at 254. He had been mired in a pretty good slump. A 170 average over his last couple of weeks of play.
That's another good changeup. 2 good changeups in this at bat. You can throw that same pitch down low, throw him another changeup. Can't imagine he's going to take it.
Nick gets the sign he wants, a check of first. Got him swinging.
Good fastball.
Got the fastball by him inside, and the 2-out single to no avail for the A's. 1 left aboard. On to the 7th we go. Rangers 5, A's 5. Fox Sports Southwest. Look at our 4-game summary tonight. Jake Smolinski got the scoring started for the A's. A 2-run home run in the third, but then the Rangers ignited their power offense. Robinson Chirinos led off the 6th with his 3rd home run of the year, and that was followed 2 outs later by Rougned Odor's 2-run opposite field jack to tie the ball game. 5-5, and that's where we stand heading into inning number 7. John Axford has now come out of the A's bullpen to take over. Sonny Gray gone after 6 innings. 8 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. They all came within the span of 8 hitters. John Axford, the 33-year-old out of Ontario, Canada. Dealing to Mitch Moreland. And ball 1 is low and inside. Sonny Gray, no walks, 3 strikeouts in his 6 innings of work tonight. Mitch Moreland, 1 out of 2. And a base hit back in the 3rd inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mitch at 229 with the average. That's up from the average that he started the road trip with at 206. Axford back to the plate. 2-1. Moreland 0 for 2 in the previous matchups against Axford. John Axford, a veteran reliever that initially came to the big leagues with the Milwaukee Brewers. That was back in 2009. He's worked also in St. Louis, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Colorado. The 2-1 pitch to Moreland. Now 2-2. Axford played his college ball at Notre Dame. He was drafted by the Mariners out of high school, but chose to go to Notre Dame and then pitched in the College World Series in 2002 as a freshman. A's with the shift on for Moreland. He's Semien in the shortstop, 3 or 4 steps to the first base side of second. Gaping hole at the shortstop spot. 3-2. So Mitch bidding to get aboard to start the Rangers 7th. Robinson Chirinos, the number 9 man, is in the on-deck circle. Mitch gently tapping the outside corner, gets set, and Axford is ready. The payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Bottom falling out of that pitch for Axford. The strikeout.
Took something off it. It's got the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. You've got to be geared up to hit that. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the home run is back in vogue with the Rangers. 15 home runs the first 6 games of this road trip. That's the most in any 6-game span this season. And the Rangers, as Tom told you, 25 home runs in June. That's second to Baltimore, who has 33. A strike to Chirinos. Robinson with his 3rd home run of the year, leading off the 6th inning. And our AT&T high-speed internet replay showing you that hanging breaking ball from Sonny Gray that Robinson Chirinos lofted over the out-of-town scoreboard. A 3 home run, 6 RBI for Chirinos. There's a drive. Wow. Well hit. That is on its way to Berkeley. Goodbye.
He was just warming up with the first one. That one went 40 feet farther. Back-to-back innings.
Robinson Chirinos, a bomb. Rangers lead it 6-5.
Well, when Robbie comes back, you say, man, every catcher that the Rangers have is doing such a great job. Where are they going to find room for everybody? That just doesn't matter. Whoever plays just hits and gets the job done. Back-to-back days for Robinson. And back-to-back home runs in the 6th and 7th inning. Give the Rangers a 1-run lead.
My goodness. And I thought he hit the first one pretty good, but no comparison. Robinson Chirinos, watch this thing get lit.
That's a fastball center square. Axford's going to watch it. He knows where it's going to end up, though.
Robinson Chirinos, his 2nd career 2-home run game. His first one almost 2 years ago. Came against the White Sox. Ooh. Yeah, that had the full sound.
Yep. If he knew the first one was gone, he definitely knew that one was gone.
Goodness gracious. 2-0 pitch to Chu. Now 2-1. Used to, when Yoenis Cespedes was up here, yeah, they know it's gone. He would come out early and take batting practice for the fans, and he'd hit him as far as he possibly could. And that's about the area that he'd hit him, and he was as strong as anybody. And Robinson said, "No, I've got one of those."
The Rangers now have 4 catchers. Well, they had it before this anyway, with multiple home runs. No other team has more than 2. The Rangers have 4 catchers that have done that. They're in the top 5 in slugging percentage for catchers. 38 RBIs from catchers, 3rd most of any position on the Rangers this year.
That's something.
That's pretty impressive.
It sure is.
A lot of good players on this team, but if you want to look at the 3rd best production from one position, it's the catchers.
Chu fights it off foul, still 3-2. Bobby Wilson, part of that catching trio that's active right now. Throw Brett Nicholas his time up here, and
yeah, Brett Nicholas is in the minor leagues. All he's doing is hitting about 340 at AAA. I can't imagine it'd be too many teams that he wouldn't at least be a backup catcher on.
High and tight. Chu draws the walk. He is aboard with 1 out. Take you back and give you one more look at the home run by Chirinos. Watch the Ranger bench. Watch Adrian Beltre.
Number 20.
You can't believe
it. No. It's the big one, Elizabeth. That's great.
That was a big one.
Yeah. Oh, Chilborn, he's got a walking lead. He's going to stand up at second base.
Just keep going. See if he can steal 2 bases on 1 pitch.
I think Axford's a little distracted by what's going on.
Watch this jump. Axford's ducking down for the throw. He didn't know Chu was already on second base.
Shin-Soo with his 2nd stolen base. I would venture to say Chu has never had an easier stolen base in his career than that one. So, with Desmond at the plate, Ian already has an RBI tonight. Had an RBI double last inning. Got Chu at second with just 1 out. One ball and 1 strike. Desmond 0 for 7 in his career against John Axford. Right-hander, check second. One and 2. Desmond a single, a double, 2 for 3 tonight. He has scored a run. He has driven in a run. And the infield shading slightly around to the left, as is the outfield. Time called. Again, Desmond making his 32nd start, batting second in the order. He's hitting better than .365 as the second place hitter. One and 2. Got him swinging. Went upstairs at 95. Axford with his 2nd strikeout, 2 away. And Nomar Mazara now will come up. And it doesn't look like Mazara is going to face Axford. You got John Doolittle, a left-hander, ready if needed. And yeah, that's who Bob Melvin wants. wants the left-hander Doolittle to come on to face Nomar Mazara with Chu at second and 2 outs here in the 7th. The run across, the Rangers have taken the lead. It is 6-5 Texas. We've got another pitching change underway in Oakland. We'll be back right after this timeout on Fox Sports Southwest. Upcoming schedule. Rangers and A's finish up here tomorrow afternoon, and then it's on to St. Louis, back in interleague play, taking on the Redbirds Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The makeup game back home against Baltimore on Monday. Then Cincinnati comes in for a couple, and Boston finishes off that week for the weekend. Sean Doolittle, left-hander on now to face Nomar Mazara. The pitch outside to him for ball 1. Doolittle, a 29-year-old southpaw out of Rapid City, South Dakota, his 31st appearance of the year. The former A's closer, 1-2 with a 245. League still just hitting 178 against him.
Get it up there, 96 miles an hour. Left-hand hitters are 5 for 41 against him. That's a 122 average. He struck out 23 in his last 13 innings. And does it mostly with a fastball.
Mazara now down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Doolittle, originally a first-round pick in the 2007 draft, signs an outfielder. Converted full-time to pitching after the 2010 season. Call, strike 3. Mazara didn't think so. And he explains that to Milwaukee to no avail. But the Rangers take the lead. Robinson Chirinos, his 2nd home run of the night. Rangers strand a runner, will take the stretch in Oakland. 6-5 Rangers.
front as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Matt Bush finds his way to the mound. Today we were trying to find the best pizza in San Francisco, and when we got to Tony's and saw the line out the door, we figured we must have found it. But Tony's is more than a pizzeria. This was actually an educational field trip for us, because Tony's is also an international school of pizza. And what a lesson was learned at Tony's today by our photographer, Chris Fitzpatrick. He ordered that pizza with all kinds of shrubbery and greenery all over it as Matt Bush delivers his first pitch at the bottom of the 7th inning. And Fitzy should have known better. Look at the pizza I ordered. That's called the New Yorker. Okay, now I gave Fitzy a couple of pieces of that in exchange for one of the pieces of his, which I didn't eat until I knocked all the healthy stuff off of it. But man, that really might have been the second best pizza I've ever had, second to Lombardi's in New York. That was really good pizza, and Fitz is really regretting his decision. But it's an international school of pizza, so you've got to learn your lessons at an international school of pizza, don't you? He learned. He's a good student.
Nice of you to educate him.
Man, least I can do.
Yeah. Well, Matt Bush is on now to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Matt, appearing in his 16th ballgame, saw him work a 1-2-3 inning last night. He's on here now with the Rangers leading by a run. Matt, in last night's ballgame, came on to face Valencia, Davis, and Butler. Tonight, he will face Lowry, Valencia, and Davis. The count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got a couple of quick notes we'll get to you here in just a second. Rich Rice, Ranger PR man, is working overtime digging this stuff up for us. Very interesting notes on the Ranger offensive outburst. It's historic in its proportions. Slap foul. Oh, we have a second here. I'll tell you about the last multiple home run game by a Ranger hitting in the 9th spot was Leonis Martin.
Wow.
Back in June of 2013 against the Yankees. Robinson Chirinos with a pair of home runs from that 9th spot. Matt Bush ready for the 2-2 pitch to Jed Lowry. Another note, according to Baseball Reference, the Rangers are the only opponent to ever hit 3 or more home runs in 3 straight games at the Coliseum in one season for one team.
Huh.
The Rangers ever. The Coliseum been here. The A's have been here since 1968. That qualifies as a long time. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
That was going to be pretty much impossible to hit that pitch after 3 pitches between 97 and 99 miles an hour, and then you break off a hard curveball like that. He tried not to swing at it, but that's impossible not to. He's so geared up to try to hit the fastball that he just are hopeless on that curveball.
And one more, well, a qualifier for the Rich Rice information that wanted to make sure we understood. Baltimore did it 3 in a row, but that spanned 2 seasons,
okay.
85 and 86.
Well, that doesn't count.
You can't be doing that. Guys have hitting streaks that
like
span
Tiger Woods Grand Slam. You got to do it 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. So, Rangers the only ones to do it ever in this ballpark in 3 straight games in one season. Appreciate Rich Rice digging that stuff up for us. Right on top of everything. Danny Valencia skies one to right, not hit very deep. On comes Chu, and Shin-Soo able to run that down. That's out number 2. And this comes from our research staff. Eric Josephson, we understand, came up with this. 3 home runs in 3 consecutive games. First time with that since 2013 for the Rangers against the Astros. All kinds of historical perspective. We appreciate everybody's efforts gleaning that information. 2 outs. Here's Chris Davis. broken bat roller out to Elvis. On to Moreland, and Matt Bush
10 pitches to get through the middle of the lineup.
ran through the same middle of the lineup last night, does it again tonight. We're going to the 8th inning. Rangers 6, A's 5, Fox Sports Southwest. Number one live streaming sports service delivers everything you've come to expect and a lot more. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes free subscription to At Bat Premium, the number one app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Just visit MLB.tv for details. The Rangers leading 6-5. We head to the top of the 8th inning. Prince Fielder, Jurickson, Profar, and Rougned Odor, the first three to do the swinging against Sean Doolittle. Fielder had a sacrifice fly in that 5-run outburst by the Rangers in the 6th inning. Takes ball one. Prince 0 for 2, but drove in his 33rd run of the year with that fly ball to deep center. Doolittle came on to strike out Nomar Mazara to end the Rangers' 7th. Stays out there to work the 8th. You got two left-handers in the first three for the Rangers, Fielder and Odor. Profar, of course, a switch hitter. Out of play to the left. The count moves to 2-1. Rangers 6 runs on 9 hits tonight. Hayes 5 runs on 7 hits. Sean Doolittle has given up a hit in 4 times at bat to Fielder. And he falls behind here, 3 balls and a strike. So Prince trying to get aboard to start the Ranger 8th inning. Jurickson Profar, the third baseman, in that on-deck circle. High pop-up on the left side of the diamond. Manny Valencia, the third baseman, makes the grab. Fielder pops out, 1 away, Profar coming up. And before Profar steps in, let's send it back to Aaron Hardigan for a Chevy game break.
Number 19, Jurickson Profar.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Profar, a very healthy cut and a miss for strike 1. Jurickson singled and scored last inning. He is 1 for 2 officially tonight. Hits this one well to center field. Burns back and to his right. 2 gone. Well, the balls have been hit to center field, and I look like they've died when they've gone out there, but Ball's jumping to left and to right.
Number 12, Rougned Odor.
Must be a black hole out there.
Yeah, I got a feeling if Robinson hit that same ball to center, it might have gone. He hit that one pretty good.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, here's Odor, who went the other way and drove it out over the out-of-town scoreboard to tie the ball game in the 6th inning.
There are a lot of pitchers, a lot of late inning guys that'll come right at you. I don't know any of them come right at you more than this guy does, though. He pretty much says, here's my fastball. I'm throwing it as hard as I can, 97 miles an hour, and see what you can do. He's only given up 1 earned run in his last 14 or 15 innings.
Become kind of a cult hero here in Oakland. Fouled back, 1-2. There's the Doolittle clan out there. Yeah. They're all taking the signs.
I never noticed that before.
Yeah, they're ready to go. There's a drive to right field from Odor. He has gone deep again. Goodbye.
I'll tell you what, that's impressive right there. Your second baseman goes deep to left field to tie the game and turns around a 97-mile-an-hour fastball from a guy giving up a 120 average to left-hand hitters, and he hit it about 450 feet to right field. He killed that ball. That's impressive.
Yeah,
the whole game's been impressive, with Sonny Gray giving up 5 runs in the 6th inning in a game that he looked like he had it well in hand. But that tops it right there. A guy that just doesn't give up much. He struck out 25 in 14 innings, I think it was. And he gets that one turned around in a hurry.
My heavens, that's the first 2-home-run game for Rougned Odor in his career. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be the last.
Watch this thing.
And on top of that was a high fastball.
He hit that thing farther. I think he hit that thing farther than Robinson did.
Elvis grounds to his counterpart. Marcus Semien throws him out, and that'll do it. But the Rangers, as they did last night, able to add on Rougned Odor with his 2nd home run of the game, his 12th of the year. Will go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 7-5 Rangers. Turned loose the home run tonight. Robinson Chirinos and Rougned Odor, each with 2 home run games. And our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, that last bolt off the bat of Rougned Odor, and that's still going. What a bomb. Jimmy John's got to be proud of that delivery like that.
That's got to be 460, 475. He killed that ball.
So the bottom of the 8th inning finds Rougned Odor back at second base, maybe a little bit on cloud 9.
It's funny.
Pretty good about that.
It's funny too because the catcher gave Doolittle the high sign. He wanted that fastball right where Doolittle threw it. This is priceless right here, Buzz.
The Doolittle followers, oh boy. You talk about sucking the air right out of your balloon. That was my best impersonation. I had it all going and gave up the home.
I love those kids too. There's not many fans out here, but the ones that are out here are die-hard fans. Those kids are out there and they've got their head in the game. They're cheering for the home team. They want them to do well. Their favorite guy comes in and didn't work out for him that time, but I guarantee you Sean Doolittle appreciates that kind of support from him.
Jake Diekman out of the Ranger bullpen now, taking over for the 8th inning. And Butler skies one to right. Chu makes the grab. That is out number 1. So Jake Diekman retires Billy Butler, the first hitter he faces. You know, the Ranger bullpen tonight has done an excellent job, starting with Nick Martinez, who came in and worked 2 1/3 innings of shutout baseball. Matt Bush had a perfect 7th inning, and now Jake Diekman has retired the first hitter that he has faced.
Yeah, the Rangers are looking for guys that can shut it down in the middle of the game, and Nick Martinez did that tonight.
Yep.
Nice job. The game was headed toward being out of hand. It was 5-0. He got out of that 1 inning and popped a couple of more shutout innings, and the Ranger offense took over from there.
Josh Fagley at the plate, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Jake Diekman missing with the first 2 pitches. 2 balls, no strikes. Fagley hitting at an even 300 now. Diekman back to the plate. This is inside. 3 balls, no strikes. The Rangers 4 home runs tonight now, 82 for the year. They just have been unleashing the long ball mercilessly. 3-1.
And this is one of those situations, the 8th and 9th innings, where if you can get the A's out quickly, then you don't have to risk the 9th inning seeing Valencia and Davis come to the game, come up in a game where they could be the tying or go-ahead runs. That'll help.
Yep, Diekman throws a strike, and Elvis throws a strike to Moreland. 2 gone. So Fagley out, and now Marcus Semien coming up. Semien 1 for 3 tonight. Had a single in the 3rd inning, came around to score. A's 7 hits tonight. Rangers 10 hits. 4 of them have left the ballpark. Rich Rice at it again. Came up with another nugget for us. This is the 15th time in Ranger history that 2 players have had multiple home runs in the same game. First since that 30-3 game, Tom, that you're so familiar with, back in 2007 against Baltimore. Ramon Vasquez and Jared Saltalamacchi each had 2 home runs in that game.
But did they have 2 apiece within 3 innings?
That we don't know yet. We'll get more after the next inning. So, a 1-2-3 inning for Jake Diekman. We are going to the 9th. Rangers leading 7-5. Fox Sports Southwest.
The ninth inning here in Oakland, California, and if the Rangers are able to hold on and win this game, then they've got a chance to keep that streak of winning series alive. That would come tomorrow, though. It's a 4-game series, so they have to win tomorrow, too, to win this series. Colby Lewis, born and raised in Northern California, and loves pitching here, as those numbers would indicate. He and the rest of the Rangers will take on Chris Davis and the A's tomorrow at 2:30. Rangers Live coming your way at 2. AT&T high-speed internet brings you all the info about tomorrow's game. We will see you then.
All right, John, we go to the top of the ninth inning. Mitch Moreland leading off, and Ryan Madson, the closer for the A's, on to pitch in this 7-5 Ranger lead. Madson appearing in his 27th ball game. ERA at 2.55 and league hitting 2.44 against the 35-year-old. Moreland 1 for 3. Pops the next pitch up. Out in front of home plate, just to the left of home plate. Fagley over there to make the grab. That is out number 1. And that'll bring up the Ranger catcher, Robinson Chirinos.
Now batting, number 61, Robinson Chirinos.
Chirinos has homered in each of his last 2 at-bats. A pair of solo home runs. The second one further than the first one by quite a bit. Still waiting for the details of the tape for all these home runs tonight.
Yeah, I'd love to see Rugi's. Rugi hit his, kind of like Mazzara hit his in Texas. It wasn't high and coming down. It was a line drive and it was still going.
Chirinos' first ball swinging, pops out to shortstop, 2 gone. And Shin-Soo Choo coming up. Yeah, you're right. It looked like one of your tee shots.
You know, if it went over the 360 sign and it went up to the walkway, that's 30 feet up to the walkway, and it had at least 50 or 60 more feet to go if it was allowed to hit the ground. I'm saying it had to be 450, 460.
Did it go in the walkway? If it did, it might have left the stadium.
I don't know. I don't think it went down the walkway. I think it hit the side of the wall near the walkway. I don't think Sean Doolittle has given up many home runs like that to a left-hand hitter.
No, I'm sure that's a pretty safe bet.
And it wasn't like a pitch down either. It was a high fastball. He just jumped on it.
Pitch outside. 1 ball, 1
it.
strike. Let's see if we can see where that thing. Oh, look out, the guard there. Yeah,
It almost went out the tunnel.
it did.
It's a good thing that guy got out of the way. And again, that ball wasn't high and coming down. That was a line drive. Obviously, it's coming down. It's not still going up, but that had a ways more to go.
We talked about Rugnet, pretty stout young man. He can put a charge into a baseball, as we've seen. Now Madson falling behind to Choo, 3 balls and 1 strike. Choo has had a walk along with his 2 hits. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Scored a run.
That's great to have Choo back in the lineup. You know, a lot of guys have done a good job leading off, especially Jurickson, but the guy that can do the best job is right here.
And he takes ball 4.
And even sniff at those pitches.
Second walk that he has garnered tonight. So Madson now will face Ian Desmond.
Number 20.
Single, double, walk, walk. Choo is coming into the game. Let's see, he's got now 26 at bats, and he's walked 11 times.
Now Desmond facing a familiar foe. And he grounds the first pitch to short. That'll do it for the Rangers. Desmond now 4 out of 13 in his career against Ryan Madson. Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Rangers leading 7-5, and it looks like it's going to be Sam Dyson time. Rangers trying to close out a victory. I'm on now. A save situation for the Ranger closer. It was not last night, but Sam closed out that ball game. Tonight he's looking for the save. He's 10 for 11 in save opportunities. 35th game of the year. That is by far the most on the ball club. 214 league average against him. Sam Dyson, 28 strikeouts and 7 base on balls. Coco Crisp has come off the A's bench to pinch hit for Jake Smolinski. So Crisp stepping in as the pinch hitter. A 228 average for Crisp. Sam Dyson deals a hard sinker in for strike one. Crisp, 5 home runs, 22 RBI. Nothing in 2. Nice, taking a little off that. Yeah. Coco Crisp, 2 out of 3 in this series. Scored 3 runs in that Monday night ball game. A's pinch hitters, second in the American League with 12 hits among them. Obviously, the number is much different than the National League, where you have many more pinch hitting opportunities. But the A's are second with 12 hits. They're second in plate appearances with 55. And they have 6 RBI among them. A ball and 2 strikes. Still 1 and 2.
Now the changeup that he throws after a 97-mile-an-hour fastball makes the hitter swing too soon. But if all he threw were changeups, it'd be a nice 89-mile-an-hour sinker that could still be a successful pitch.
Yeah.
Could stand on its own.
Here's a little looping drive right off the fist. That was the 95-mile-an-hour fastball that just ate up Coco Crisp's bat. 1 gone.
Now batting first baseman, number 17, Yonder Alonso.
No, 1 away. Yonder Alonso now, who has a hit in 3 trips to the plate, steps in. Alonso's base hit was a 6th inning single. Came against Nick Martinez. Off the end of the bat, rolling out to Elvis, who played a tricky hop. Played it very nicely. 2 gone.
Last 8 hitters, there's been some sore thumbs after these at-bats.
Into the bat, handle, anywhere but on the barrel.
Man. Rangers have retired the last, what is it, last 8?
Last 9.
Last 9.
Yep.
Yep, there it is, last 9 guys.
Yep, 3 strikeouts.
Good bullpen work tonight.
Excellent.
Efficient, too. Not a lot of pitches. These aren't 1 innings, 23 pitch innings. Matt Bush had 10 pitches. Diekman, I'm not sure what he had, 12 or 13. And Sam's got a chance to have under 10 right here. That's exactly what Jeff Bannister's hoping for, too.
And the first pitch, that good sinker to Billy Burns for strike 1.
You know, before the game, the sports writers were all talking to Banny about innings pitched for the relievers, but innings pitched is one measure, but pitches per inning has to factor into it as well.
Yep.
You know, you can throw a lot more innings if your innings are 12 and 11 and 12 pitches than you can if they're 21 and 22 pitches.
I want to alert folks that it's not your TV set, it's our problem. That radar gun reading right there is stuck on 95 at the moment. Sam Dyson throwing so hard he just broke the radar gun. 2 balls and a strike. Burns 2 for 4 tonight, a pair of doubles. Fouled away, and Sam Dyson now has the A's down to their final strike, trying to protect that 2-run Ranger lead, and for Dyson, it'll be his 11th save in 12 opportunities. Also give the Rangers a 6.5 game lead since Seattle lost tonight. 6.5 games in the AL West. Poked on the ground, foul just outside third. And that's the kind of hitter that Burns is from the left side of the plate. He, one of the top hitters in the American League for infield hits, and you can see why. By the time he made contact with that ball, he was about a third of the way down to first base.
Yeah, the only thing that limits how far he can get to first base on his swing is how far outside the pitch is.
Yeah, that's right.
He can't get too far because he's got to make the bat hit the ball.
Well, Dyson set for another 2-2 pitch. Couldn't get him to chase that. The count is full. Now, Burns is able to extend this ball game. We have Jed Lowry, a switch hitting second baseman, waiting his turn.
You don't want to see Valencia. He's after Lowry.
Payoff pitch on the way. Chopper over the mound, going to be a tough play for Elvis. The ball came up, and he throws out Burns, and that is a winner. What a play by Elvis. What a bounce that came up for him. He was able to make the play, and Sam Dyson closes out the Ranger win. Dyson with his 11th save in 12 opportunities, and the Rangers came from 5 runs back against Sonny Gray to tie the ball game. And then the long ball won the ball game. Robinson Chirinos and Rougned Odor with 2 home run games tonight. Odor and Chirinos tacking on runs in both the 7th and 8th innings, as the Rangers put 5 on the board in the 6th, and this is how it ended behind Sam Dyson. A nice play by Elvis Andrus to finish off the Oakland A's here tonight. The Rangers win their 41st game of 2016, and they increase their lead in the American League West to 6.5 games over the Seattle Mariners. The A's now drop 13.5 back of the Rangers. And Jeff Bannister's ball club extends their best